Welcome to Ask Questions, where we answer questions that your heart desires answers to. So, yes, today we are talking about saying no. Yes, we are talking about saying no. Many Christians are tired, many Christians are overwhelmed, and then some are completely burnt out. You have a lot of responsibilities in church, in ministry that you are part of. You also want to grow personally. You have your life, you have dreams that you want to focus on, and then the responsibility that keeps popping up from church, from ministries that you're part of, it keeps piling up that makes it look like, oh, this person doesn't have a life outside serving God. Of course, we don't have a life outside serving God. But there's a way that the responsibility that you get makes it look like you don't have any other thing to do, you don't have a job, you just keep getting responsibilities, things that you have to do. Yes, and then you barely have time for yourselves, you barely have time to be productive, you barely have time to grow. Is this how ministry is supposed to be? Is this how serving is supposed to be? So, because of this, many people has actually stopped serving. Many people, they will just sit down, think to themselves, okay, if this is how it is going to go, then I'd rather stop serving. And because of that, many people stop serving. Many people are no longer interested in serving. And even those that are still doing it, they are doing it half-heartedly. Yes, those that are still doing it, they are just doing it for doing sake. Because, oh, they've said we have to serve, so let me just serve for serving sake. That's why most people that are still doing it, that's why they are doing it. So, and then what makes it actually like more worse is that those that are asking you, there are people you can't even say no to. There are people that, for example, your pastor is asking you to do something. You tell your pastor, no, pastor, I ain't doing that. No, you don't do that. You actually do it. So yes, the people that are asking you these things, there are people that you can't say no to. There are people that you don't want to disobey. There are people that you actually respect. So what do? And then you want to balance life with ministry. You want to balance life with service. So what do you do? How do you go about this? That's why we are learning how to say no. I know someone is already saying, oh, so you're telling us to say no to the work. Then who's going to do the work if everybody keeps saying no? Because just one person can't do the work. But I'm not telling you to say no to work. I'm not telling you to say no to what you are being told to do. I'm only telling you to say no to being a man pleaser, to being a man pleaser. I'm only telling you to say no to actually doing what men want rather than what God wants. Many people will go as far as God told me to do this, but because a leader has told me to come and do this for you urgently, I would rather go and obey the leader than sit down and do what God has actually told me to do. And is that how it is actually meant to be? No. So I'm rather telling you to say no to a man pleaser. See, everything about you, your work, your life, your ministry, they are actually very, very important to God. Even your academics as a student, they are important to God. So yes, you don't just say, oh, you don't just say I'm doing ministry alone and then you use it like other aspects of your life you are not doing. So yes, I'm teaching you how to say no to being a man pleaser, not how to be a disobedient believer. No. But I'm training you to. I'm actually teaching today. I'm actually answering questions today on saying no to being a man pleaser. How does when God says this, you do it, and then even when it looks like your leader or every other person doesn't agree with it, you still forge ahead with that which God has asked you to do. So that's why we are learning today. Saying no to men, saying no to pleasing men, and then obeying God. Yes, and saying yes to God, saying yes to your dreams, saying yes to your purpose, saying yes to your vision, and not become a frustrated Christian that doesn't even know the way to go, that doesn't even know what to do or how to go about the situation. So yesterday we are answering just three questions. We are answering just three questions about this topic. Yes. So the first question that we have is, when do I say no? Yes, that's very important because you're learning about saying no. If we jump into okay, how to say no, many people start saying no to everything. The first question is, when do I say no? And it is simple. You say no when it is not God's plan. You say what? You say no when it is not God's plan. You say no when you are sure that the task is simply what God wants for you in that season of your life. Even a good activity can be a distraction from what God has actually told you to do. Yes, that the thing like what they're asking you is good. Doesn't matter, it can be a distraction if it is not what God wants for you at that time. So you say no when you are sure that it is not God's plan for you, when you are sure that this is not what God will have you do at that time. You say no. So, you say no when it drains you completely. When those things that you are asked to do, of course, at the times you'll be drained from doing the work of God. At the times you sacrifice, or a lot of your time to do the work of God. Yes, and it is beautiful. We should do that as often as possible. Do you know why? Because there's a kind of satisfaction you derive. There's a kind of joy you have, when you work for God and it drains you, and then you know that, oh, I really did this work. Yes, there's a kind of satisfaction. There's a kind of joy that you have. You can work even if the work will drain you. But what I'm trying to say is that when the work that you are doing is something that will not make you remain stable again, it's something that is taking a whole lot from you, and then you can't even balance this with other aspects of your life, and you can't even do this and do God's plan. That is when to say no. Yes, that is when to say no. So you say no when work leaves you totally empty. When it takes away your family time, when it takes away the time you're meant to relate with people. And don't take me wrong, at times the work you are doing for God will actually like deprive you of your personal time. Yes, but should it make you feel empty, or oh, you are even too tired? Like, how do I put this now? When you keep working, and then when you keep doing things for God, and then you don't have time for yourself, you don't have time for your family. In one of my Munro book, he was saying that God's plan and purpose is never something that makes others be a shadow of themselves. Yes, that's not God's plan. That God's plan for you is not something that will make others sad. The work that God has given you is not something that will leave other people restless. It is not something that will leave other people, unhappy. Yes, it's not a work that will leave other people sad. Yes, when you are working, you're saying it's God's plan, and then you are doing it, yes, and then even the people around you, your family, they are not happy. Why? Because you don't have their time. So when it seems like, okay, you're saying yes to every work, and that yes is depriving you of family time, it is depriving you of making your family happy, of spending time with them, then it is not God's plan. Learn to say no once in a while. Yes, and this is not even only about the work that you are giving in church. If you are working as a normal person, and then your work time is actually depriving your family time, find something to do about it. Say yes, you say no to work when it leaves you completely empty, when it leaves your family restless. Those are the time that you actually say no. Yes, those are the time that you actually say no. Why does this happen? Many times we actually often say yes because we want to please men, even when you know that, oh, my wife has fixed the vacation for the family, and then they just told you that you have to go and do this at this time, then just to please, you go and do it, and then that makes your family unhappy. Of course, are there times that you fix the vacation with your family, and then work comes, and then you just have to cancel the vacation and go and do that work? Yes, but should it be every time? No. So yes, you don't have to be that person that leaves their family restless all the time because they want to do the work of ministry. In fact, it may be the visionary, it may be the one that is in charge, and then you have a whole lot of things to do. There are sometimes that you now say no to yourself. Yes, there are sometimes that you say no to yourself. I'm not doing this now. Rather, I'm spending the time with my family, and that's why we have quantity time and quality time. Yes, quality time and quantity time. That's why sometimes they are quality calculated, and then sometimes they are quantity calculated. You can spend 2 hours with your family just playing, and then just enjoying life. And then you can spend the same 2 hours at work, and then you've achieved a lot, and then it looks like, oh, did I waste that 2 hours that I spent with my family? No, you didn't waste it. Do you get that? You say no when the work leaves you completely drained. You say no when what you want to do, it will leave other people deprived of joy, deprived of happiness. It will leave other people unhappy. So yes, you say no at those times. So the second question is, how do I say no when it is someone that I highly respect that is asking me? How do I say no when the person asking me is someone that, oh, I truly, truly respect? Yes, when it is someone that you truly, truly respect, this is something that happens to most of us, because it is someone that we respect, we are unable to say no because I respect this person, I've always respected this person. We don't say no most times, yes, and then we don't want to say no, which is normal. Yes, it is normal. When we respect someone, we don't want to say no. This is something that happens to many people, and then even when it starts trust to your head, you just don't want to say no. Why? Because you actually respect the person. And then say no to this kind of people. This is the first question I'm going to ask you. Check your heart first. Yes, why do you want to say no? This is the first question I'm going to ask you. Why do you want to say that no? Do you have a genuine reason? There are some people that does not take excuse, and it is not wrong. Because if you give excuse for everything, you always have excuse not to want to do something. So yes, when you want to say no, or when you think, oh, I'm saying no to this, ask yourself first, why do I want to say this no? Yes, why do I want to say this no? Do I want to say it simply because I'm lazy, uninterested, selfish? Is that why you want to say the no? Is that why you want to say no? If that's why you want to say no, then you yourself have to have a rethink. I don't think that's a clear reason enough to say no. So yes, check yourself. Why do you want to say the no? If your reason for saying the no is okay, then that is beautiful. But if the reason for saying that no is not okay, then I think you have to rethink yourself that, okay, I'm not going to say this no. For some people, it is just selfishness. It is just being uninterested. It is just laziness that they want to say no. It's not because they have something important to do. It's not because they have many things they are doing. It's not because they have a lot of things they are doing. They just want to say that no at that time. Yes, they just want to say that no at that time. So if you now know that, okay, the reason I want to say this no is actually genuine, go ask. Okay, speak clearly and boldly that, okay, sir, ma, you asked me to do this, I have to do this. I'm sorry, I can't do it now. I may have to do it later. That's taking responsibility. I may not be able to do it now. I want to do it later. Explain yourself. Okay, this is why I don't want to do it. And thank God we don't have unreasonable leaders in the Christian fold. So I believe if you explain yourself well to anybody, respectfully, some people want to say no, they can't do something. They are doing it with fight. They are burning face, and then they are changing it for them that, okay, I'm saying no, I'm not doing this. They are doing it with anger. Yes, they are doing it like, if you like, accept my excuse. If you like, don't accept my excuse. If you like, take it. If you like, leave it. All I know is that I'm saying no to this and nobody can change my mind. That is not a way to say no. That is not a way to actually say, okay, I can't do this at this time. That is not the way. And in case you don't know, let me tell you this. If it is someone that you truly respect, then they should be able to control you and even tell you that don't do this, even things that you want to do and you don't do it. Things that you will have loved to do, food that you will have loved to eat, they should be able to tell you that don't eat that food, give it to someone, don't do this, do that. They should be able to tell you to do something at their time, at their bidding, and then you will do it. Without arguing, without fight. So yes, that's my first question is why? Why don't you want to do that thing? So if it is someone that you truly respect, they will be able to control you. That okay, this is why you don't do this thing. This is why you don't do this thing. So sometimes, not even sometimes, someone that you claim to respect will be able to control you. Some people, they will say yes to their teacher rather than their pastor. They are our trainers and then they are our fathers. And so even if you are older than your pastor, is your trainer and is your father. So he should be able to control you. A trainer should be able to tell you, don't do this. A trainer should be able to tell you, this is not the way you should go. Don't go this way. I don't want you to go this way. A trainer should be able to control you. So even when you now want to say no to a trainer, you don't do it like, I don't care what you want, I don't care what you do, I'm just going to say no. So do this, no, I'm not going to do this, and then you don't have an excuse. There's this funny thing, maybe not funny, but some people are not taking permission. When it comes to permission taking, some people are not even taking permission, they are just informing you that, okay, I'm going to this place, and then I won't be able to come. It's not that I want to go to this place, and then I won't be able to come. Can I go? No, some people are not taking permission. I'm doing this, and then this is it. I'm going to be late, that is it. It's not how it is meant to be. So when it is someone that is a trainer, when it is someone that is a father, there's a way that you say no. And at the same time, that person is able to say no to your no. Yes, is able to say no to your no. So what happens now when it is actually God that is telling you to do this, and it looks like, oh, the person that is your trainer is not allowing you, and it looks like, oh, the person that you respect so much is saying no to God. Yes, and this is what I would say. There's this Bible that, okay, children, obey your parents in the Lord. And that's what I would say, that we are obeying our leaders in the Lord. So when it comes to God, that, okay, it is God telling me to do this, and then someone that looks like my leader is saying no, obey God. Yes, that's just what I would say. And even in your obeying God, of course, I will tell you to do it respectfully. But obey God. Yes, obey God. And then, are there extreme sides to these things that I'm saying? Yes. But what will I just simply tell you? First off, obey God. Yes, obey God. So, respect does not mean you have to destroy your health or neglect your family just to keep a human being happy. So, respect, it doesn't just mean that you have to make yourself unhappy. Respect doesn't mean that you have to destroy yourself, make yourself unhappy just because you want to obey people. So, even when you're saying no, say it politely. Yes, and then someone wants to say, okay, what if it is not even God that is telling me to say no to this thing? What if it is just me? I can't just do this thing again. I'm just so tired. And then I just want to say no, no, no. Number one, know that they are your trainer, and then know how to convince and say, okay, no, I'm not doing this. And then, of course, be able to stand your ground. And then I'm not convincing you to do things that you think can destroy you. I'm not convincing you to do things that you think it is not okay with you. See, there are times that your parents, those that you respect, they are telling you to go this way, and then you don't feel comfortable going that way. They're telling you must go to a science class. There's a common example, but I believe you may have passed that level, but they're telling you to not to go to science class and then not to art class, and then they are saying it that compulsorily you must obey them. And you know that art class is the way for you. Like what they are doing in science class, okay, you don't even know it well. Like they are not the things that comes easily for you. They are not the things that you think you can do easily. What will I tell you to do? Follow your mind. Yes, do what you think you actually want. Of course, the example I just made now, it's for people like it happens to people that are underage and then they can't even follow their mind because of course their parents still has the veto power on them. But now that I'm talking to people that are mature now, you can make your decision even though they will not like it. Follow your mind, and not just follow your mind. Prayerfully. Yes, go to God and tell God to convince them. A wife, it's your husband that is saying no to what you want to do, and then you are just tired, you just want to go ahead and do it even without his permission. Take it to God first. It's your parents that is saying no to the person that you want to marry. Take it to God first. It's your pastor that is saying no to this. Take it to God first. So in you saying no to the people that you respect, in you saying no to the people that you honor, there are 3 stages. Number 1, why do you want to say the no? Is your reason genuine? The second thing that I mentioned, the second thing I mentioned is that if you now see that okay, your reason is genuine, speak clearly. Speak clearly that, okay, this is why. Some people are hiding the reason they don't want to do something and they expect that leader to say yes. Yeah, some people are hiding the reason they don't want to do something and they are expecting that leader to say yes. How? Put yourself in their shoes. That, okay, I'm the one that is going to take permission from this person to do this. I'm the one that is going to say no from this person to do this. And then you are hiding the real reason why you are saying that no. Put yourself in their shoes. And then if they still insist, follow God's plan. Not with disobedience, not with pride, you actually do it with the help of God. Do it prayerfully. Just to note this that I want to say, respect does not mean you have to destroy your health or neglect your family just to keep a human being happy. That is not respect. That is being a human pleaser. Let's go to the last question because we only have 3 questions today. How do I say no when it feels like everything will fall apart without me? This is the reason why many people don't want to say no, because they feel like if I say no, a lot of things is going to fall apart. Things will not go on the way they should. If I say no, things will not go on the way they should without me. So I want to have a 3 days personal retreat, and then we have a lot of things going on in the ministry where I am. So I can't even have a day to set myself apart, and I know that I need a retreat at that time, because if I go for 3 days, things will fall apart without me. How do we cope with this? How do we manage with this? Yes, so number one thing I will tell you is that, and it's someone that I respect so much. Yes, it is what someone that I respect so much used to say. It is that no matter what you are doing, yes, no matter what you are doing, you are not irreplaceable. I said that. No matter what you are doing, no matter who you are not irreplaceable. Yes. So there's no church department or ministry that cannot run without you. The truth is that it can and it will. There's no church department that, okay, maybe because you are not there, it is not going to run. Yes, it is going to run without you. So there's nothing like if I'm not there, it is not going to run. It's going to run even without you. Elijah thought he's actually the only one that is serving God, until God actually revealed to him that, okay, there are 100 people that even if you are not there, I can easily pick one and replace you. Yes, there are 100 people, 100 prophets that has not bowed their head to bow. So yes, you are not the only one. It can run without you. Things can continue. Things can go on even without you. So learn to say no. Don't say you are not going to say no because you feel like things are not going to run without you. And let me tell you this newsflash: if something crashes because you are not around, then it is not that you are important. No, it's not showing that you are important. It simply shows that you have failed. Because the true test of leadership, it is actually training people in what you do so that they can do it like you and even better than you. It's so that they can improve. You are 80 years old and then you are doing things like the way they do it in the 80s. Train people that are younger. Let them have their ideas, what they've learned in their little life, things that, okay, their eyes have been opened to. Let them add it to it, and then you see that that's your 80-year-old formula. It's going to improve and even do better. So if ministry collapse because you are not there, it means you've actually built things around yourself alone. It actually means you've been the only one doing it. You should be able to lift people to it, yes. You should be able to say no to yourself that I'm not going to join you to do this. Stay alone and do it yourself too. So you should be able to leave the people that you are leading. You should be able to leave the people that are leading you. You should be able to leave people to do things by themselves, and then it will succeed even without you being there. So yes, who are the people that you say no to? What do you say no to? You say no to yourself. That's very, very important. So you learn how to say no to yourself. Yes, know how to say no even to yourself. So that's the last question that we have today about saying no. And then this is just the conclusion of it, that even though you are saying no to doing something, I believe that as a proper believer, your mind will still be there. It's not going that you're going to abandon it completely. So yes, should you say no even among the brethren as a believer? So should you say no even among the brethren as a believer? Yes. And to people that like saying no to everything that they give them, it's just to show that you are not responsible. You are irresponsible. And as time goes on, you see that nobody is actually coming your way to ask you to do anything again, because they are always expecting you to say no. So the times that you have to say no, say it respectfully. Say it with honor. Say it as though, oh, I respect this person that is asking, but I just have to say no at this time. So yes, saying no is what we are learning today. Thank you for listening to the end. Once again, this is Ask Questions, where we answer questions that your heart desires answers to. And if you have any questions you would like us to answer, do well to use the description of this channel, in the description of this video, and even in the comment section. Yes, it's everywhere so that you'll be able to ask your questions. Yes, thank you very much for listening to the end. And until next time, see you. Bye bye.